now a bionic man. Philip Kindred has an advantage over all else out here, apart from maybe the dogmen. Yet they have fallen to his club and might. And now he is prepared, finally, to head back to Camp Grayling with his foil poncho, painkillers, and loaded rifle. He will be needing his wits too. So let's hope we can hold on to those for a little longer yet. Kia ora, Legionnaires, Rycon here, and welcome back to Neo Scavenger, where we are going to be continuing our journey to the north, making our way through some unknown areas where we can. Currently, we're going to be heading west towards Saginaw, but really, we're heading towards the Enclave. And I do think it's probably still going to be worth us scavenging the places that we find along the way, as night vision just makes this so much more better. And after scavenging through all of those buildings, we've come away with a new bag, new sleeping bag, some more painkillers, and I'm pretty sure that they are totally good to go. So we'll stack them next to our prescription ones. We even have some more foil here, which we are still going to continue to grab, just because I think it's going to make sense for us to have, backups. And we have a newspaper, Roid Rage. Troy Jupiter Group has been dealing a month-long strike at its mine at Jupiter's L4 supercluster. The sometimes violent dispute has choked supplies to Earth and cost Troy Jupiter around 1.2 billion in revenue. Well, let's grab that string while we're here as well. And we'll move on to the next city. There was a blue frog cultist up there though, so we're going to have to be a little wary of that. And it looks like they might be moving in towards us. Okay, we'll try and get out of here before they get too close. Okay, and... oh, damn. Wow, where is our luck? That's incredible. A nano-robotic medical kit with 3 charges in there. Absolutely wild. Got some more foil as well. Wonderful. Some extra clean rags. And 13 scraps of paper. I'm going to go and separate all of these just to see if there's anything that we've missed. Oh, there we go. Patchwork foil poncho. Okay, it does need 60 and also 20. Now we actually know it. I'm just going to keep it just in case. And heading on over to our vehicle here. Good, still looking totally fine. We're going to take that. Let's take the binoculars too. Fan-frickin-tastic. And we've still got enough moves that we should be able to get at least a little bit further away. You can catch us though, can't you? And, oh boy. Okay, we're at 21 range at the moment. They have a bow. We are unable to run right now. We're going to have to ditch the vehicle for the moment. Ooh, and they got us with the bow. We're stunned and unable to move. Okay, that's a little bit better. Now, we can exploit a weakness. We also can't access our inventory right now, which ain't great. So we're going to take cover, first of all. And then, okay, all right. We're bleeding. We're going to go into our inventory. You know what? We don't need to. Just down here. Let's see. No, we do need to actually put it into our hands. Okay. I'm going to take this rifle. And now I would hope we're going to be able to get some kind of a shot here. We do not have an angle yet. So we are going to have to advance undercover and hope that we can get something. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Ranged attack. There is a possibility. They're vulnerable right now. Let's go for it. We're going to be taking a shot. And player smashed Blue Frog Cultist upper leg. They're stunned and bleeding. We're going to go for another shot here. We can't mess around. They might only have 1 arrow for all we know, but we can't afford to take that chance. Another shot, and it smacks them in the right arm. Do we want to keep on shooting? We've got 3 shots left at this stage. Oh, weapon punch. Okay, so we're going to go back to this, putting that back onto our shoulder, and you know what? Reload it if we can, and we'll advance undercover, just in case. And we're getting closer and closer. You know what? Do I actually have time to... Wow, that's considerable. Okay, let's see if we can actually... Oh, there's an arrow in there at the moment. Crap. Okay. Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. Yeah, let's get that bandaged now. And continue... Well, actually, no. What if we just wait now? Because they're getting closer. Here we go. Exploit weakness. They're really, really close. We're going to go for a leg trip. Let's get them onto the ground first of all, okay? They've fallen, and I think at this stage they are trying to desperately retreat. That ain't happening, buddy. Oh boy, a very, very good hit. We continue to pummel them. Let's put down an obstacle here. They're unconscious. We're just finishing the job, and we finish it. Okay, so our first taste of ranged combat, and we got some good hits there, but that was a fantastic opener on us, and it seems that the bow has better range than the rifle. I guess because you'd be doing it at a distance. That's our sled. Okay. For a second I was like, ooh. We've got more potato chips, which we're going to empty out. We're going to take those. What do you got in here? Doesn't look like you've got anything. You've got some berries. That's kind of about it. We're going to take that clean rag. We could... No, I was going to say we could take the sash. We could try and infiltrate the blue frogs, but I don't know if that's something that we want to risk. We're going to take the bow, though. Yes, please. What are the CDs? Just scratch UVDs. Well, let's get some more foil. And yeah, we're going to be just leaving you there as we continue on. Hey, feral dog. Let's duck into the town here. And oh, okay. A man with more gold bangles than hair drags a scared young woman towards you, yelling out, "I've got damaged goods here, man. Needs fixing." Up close, you notice that the bangles are fakes, and the man's pot-marked face displays a larcenous streak. He's sized you up as an agent of good. You can't really extend him the same courtesy, though. Besides, he's got rotten breath. Well, we're gonna help. There are some old rags nearby. Let's see what we can do. The pimp can't stop talking. You bandage up the girl and check she's okay. But the damn pimp just keeps rabbiting. Dude's driving you to distraction, talking 10 to a dozen. The girl remains mute, sullen-eyed and accepting her fate. At least she won't bleed to death now. Motormouth generously pays you for your services before leaving. There was no option for us there to intervene in any way whatsoever, at least from what I could see from the options that were presented to us. I still think saving a life there was better than nothing. Oh boy, we're really close to Saginaw now. Maybe we don't want to sleep around here? Just a thought. We could just try and push it a little bit further to get to the Enclave. I think that's probably what we're going to have to do. I don't like traveling at night, but we might have to do a little bit of it. Yeah, I mean, we still get the same amount of moves, so that's good. I think getting a little bit further away from here is going to be... that's the right call. That I think should do. There we go. That'll do. We're well rested. We are ready to get going. And here we are, back at the village, in one piece. Let's have ourselves a meal to begin, wonderful as ever, and let's browse that trading post. And yeah, we're just going to start selling off all the bits and pieces that we don't want. Does that include the nano robotic kit? Well, actually, we're considered to be sick right now, so it might be worth us using that. We'll get rid of a few things though. Yeah, let's have a look at that. Use. Okay. Player uses a nano-robotic medical kit. Their wounds have started mending and their immune system is temporarily bolstered. That's good, so I think we should start seeing a positive change there. We could sell the rest, but honestly, I think that could be invaluable to us. It's like painkillers on steroids, right? So I think we keep them. Yeah. Wouldn't mind taking some light food, like the berries that we've got here. We can store them in water. Could take some cured meat, and we'll just eat some of the extra meat that's here, just until we're feeling a little bit more satisfied. And you know what? We can pay for some of the sterilized water that's here, and the tannin tea. If we could take that instead. You know what? Let's just go and drink that. Put tannin tea in there. Yeah, let's just do that. We will take that, thank you. Oh, we've got an extra multi-tool that we can get rid of too. Look at all the chips that we've got here. Yeah, I mean, that looks good to me. Let us leave the village. We'll check in on our wounds. Yeah, that's looking good. That one, we're going to need to leave the bandage on there for a little longer. But for now, we're going to continue making our way all the way back up here. And I will be wanting to scavenge a little bit more along the way. As finding more scraps, I think that's going to be in our favor. Oh, okay. It looks like we've lost someone here recently. We'll take those for now. Good to have some backup tools. Oh wow, and there's a lot to scavenge here, so we'll probably end up just selling this stuff, honestly. Okay, and we found a lot of scopes, another boot, okay, hey, another chip bag, and a cardboard box. So I think for now, we're just gonna load up everything we can, and we'll be making our way back to the Enclave. And I'm sure they'll be happy to have some of this stuff back. Oh, I did just also have a thought. With us being sick, I suppose we probably could go to the dock and see if there's anything that he can do. Treat illness. I mean, we're already being treated. I don't think we want to kind of like double up too much. Yeah, because immune system's already boosted. I think we're okay. Yeah, it's already started, ticking upwards. Oh, hello, Melonhead. You gonna come and say hello? Let's see. Nah, you're sticking to yourself. Good for you. We are just gonna keep on moving. Oh my god, there's so many shacks. Great. And like we just have to use night vision, and that's pretty much it. Okay, and so after scavenging all of those, we've come away with some pretty nice things, bullets included. Which yet again, I don't know how worthwhile it is on, for us to hold on to some of these things. The ketchup and stuff, that's great extra food. We've got some Zopedum as well, don't know what that's gonna do. Some more bullets over here, water tester, some night vision goggles, because why not? Some average looking lockpicking tools. And then the rest of the clothing, some of it's actually worth an okay amount. So yet again, because we are close, I think it makes sense for us to go back and sell these. Otherwise, we're just saying no to, good money. It is still starting to get a fair bit tight on space. But hey, I think we can probably get away with stacking some things together. Like, yeah, we're going to sell those off together. We can put all the bullets into our cargo shorts here? No, we can't. Oh, because we need to have them in our hand. Oh, we can put them into the backpacks, totally fine. Well, we'll sort off what we can. Everything else is just going to have to go. Well, believe it or not, it's starting to get late again. No surprises there. Oh, and it looks like we're going to have to rebandage that. We're on it. We're just going to try and push on a little bit further tonight. We do have a city that we can scavenge through, which has already netted some pretty ridiculous results. There's more to go. Okay, so looking at all of this, we've got some amoxicillin. So good for if we get sick. And there was also some clean rags in there as well. Many clean rags. Well, we'll stay maxed out at 10 for now. And then, yet another nano-robotic medkit. That's just absolutely wild. We'll take that scope along, that's certainly valuable. I mean, even the first aid kit, just as it is valuable as well. As a container. I don't think we're going to take much else with us. Actually, that water is totally good to go. We're going to drink that. I mean, at least it looks like it's good to go. The blinkies we're going to take. And then, of course, we have more foil. That is wonderful. Ketchup too. What feasts we may have. You know what? Well, we will actually have some crackers for now. And then, oh, we're being stalked. Let's carry on a little further before we lay our head. Yeah, a nice forest is always going to do. Maybe hide those tracks, eh? Sleeping away. And okay, something approaches us while we are slumbering. Let's ditch the vehicle for now and get up. Great. Well, this one's recovering. They did a melee surge at us. Okay, we're all right though. Let's create an obstacle between us and them. That's got them injured. We're gonna chuck down another obstacle, which didn't help us there, but we will try and exploit a weakness. And it seems like whenever we exploit, well, maybe we've just been getting lucky, but we haven't been attacked afterwards. This one's trying to threaten us right now. That's not really working. We're gonna go and attack. And with the exposed weakness, it just absolutely wrecks them. So you're a little bit further away from us right now. We are going to advance a square closer. They were stunned, but they're ready to fight again. So I suppose we need to be as well. Range 2. Oh, we've just been punching. You fool, Rycon. We've been punching the dogman to death. Okay, let's fall back one square, eh? I feel like that's a good idea. Yep, and it jumps forwards. We are going to do a leg trip, get it fallen on the ground. Okay, it's far enough away now. It was trying to do a desperate retreat, are you? No, I don't think so. We're going to advance, and we are going to slam you, stunning you in the process. We're going to hit you with another melee attack. We'll create an obstacle here as well. It's not stunned anymore. Oh, hang on, we've got a lure. The lures are almost always fantastic. Create another obstacle here. It's trying to get back up. It's a little bit further away. Let's advance towards it. It's in severe pain. We pummel it again, and at this point, it's going to have no chance to actually attack us. The dogman is dead. And, well, we're going to get into processing this thing right now because that's a lot of free food that we're not going to pass up. And of course, as ever, it's a fur coat for us to potentially sell on. Let's just drop it on there for now. And I suppose we'll get a fireplace going. Well, the roasted meat we're going to eat right away. We do have some of the meat cured. We could try and do some more. Honestly, that's a considerable amount. I'm pretty freaking happy with that. We're going to fully extinguish this campfire now just so that we're less visible. And we'll be taking that extra meat there. And let's try and hide those tracks before we attempt to go back to sleep. Morning, and we're good to go. Oh, hello. A stranger to start the day. Not exactly what I wanted to see. We'll try and disappear into the woods. And I suppose we could go a slightly unexplored route this time. And looking at what we got here, foil, first of all. And yeah, it's kind of it. We will be taking the multi-tool. No point in us saying no to that. But we're going to be continuing on. And some more foil in this small town. And some corner cola that we'll consider. I think we're going to duck over to this little city here. Hello, dear. And, okay. Hunting rifle with scope. Are we going to take that, though? Oh, interesting. Well, we're going to consider that in a second. Race to the bottom. 17 more lives, including those of 3 Coast Guard crew members, were claimed by smallpox Sunday night. The guardsmen were crew aboard the Edward Rose, the Coast Guard vessel responsible for scuttling the derelict ship, labeled with only D32, off the coast of South Carolina 2 weeks ago. In addition, 2 of the deaths were of crewmen of the salvage ship which failed to tow the D32 to shore. The recent connection between these deaths and the derelict ship has caused investigators to consider D32 as a possible source of an outbreak. In a race against time, officials are assembling a diving research team to return to the scuttle site, hoping to find any information to explain the sudden outbreak. Intriguing. Are we actually realistically going to be able to fit you in anywhere? No, I don't think so. As much as it sucks to leave behind a seemingly perfectly good rifle, we're going to have to in this instance. Yeah, farewell for now. And would you look at that, another deer and camp railing just ahead of us. And we're going to be beelining straight for it now, right on the edge. Now, I don't know whether or not we're going to be able to bring everything in with us, but it might be worth trying. It does say we're unable to run at the moment while we're pulling the sled, so maybe not have the sled. So we're going to have to take a few things off of that and kind of decide what we actually want to bring with us. So sled, you're just going to stay there for now. And might as well have something to eat. And let's go and drink the tannin tea. We'll have to drink a little bit more. I just want to get our thirst up to full. I suppose we could eat some of the berries to help with that. Oh, I didn't realize, but we actually have enough foil to make another coat. And I'm tempted to do it. We are going to have to make a bit of space here to get this to all work for us. Ah, here it is. And that's all that we need. We can just use small parts to get it to come together. Okay, so that backpack is looking pretty good. We are going to do some rearranging here. We're going to make sure that we have these flash drives nice and visible too. Let's grab each of the nanorobotic kits. I suppose we could just take that one out and put it into this one. Although the condition of this one is better. Is it better to put them into that? I think maybe. Yeah, sure. We'll go with that option. That's still worth something just as it is. But I think this is us locked and loaded. Got our rifle, got our club. Let's start to get close. Camp Grayling. Oh boy. You're back at Camp Grayling's imposing gates. A fine mesh fence continues through the woods on either side of the gates, just clearing the tree line. To your right, the fence skirts a path that leads down to a body of water. To your left, it runs into the deep dark of the forest. So we're going to be going for that forest path. Walking between a dense spread of trees and the electrified fence, we're looking for places that we can climb or leap over. But yeah, we're back at that fence. Now, I am tempted to try and use our telescopic view, see if there is anything else that we can find there. Look into the base grounds. No, it's pretty much the same. Okay, I think we'll try and explore all the options before we commit. We'll try and use this here, and hopefully it's not just a one-time thing. On a hunch, you fish out the signal detector you found earlier and flip it on. Initially, the readings are too wild to do you any good. You're not really sure if it's working. However, after a few minutes of experimenting, you start getting a handle on the readings. You check each of the cut sections of the fence for a blind spot in the field. Unfortunately, there doesn't appear to be a gap anywhere. The field from inside the base is permeating this entire area. However, a depression in the field strength near one of the fence's cut regions. Okay, you're outside camp, so I hope that helps us. Cut through at the field's weakest spot. Yeah, that sounds like the right thing. We cut through. With everything you've been through, the first few cuts through the electrified mesh fence chip off little from your resolve. But after 10, 20, 30, it becomes difficult to ignore the vicious tingling, the spreading sting, the sensation of skin pulling and twisting against itself. You sweat with anticipation before every cut and pause for relief after. The simple task of cutting a few wires has grown into an increasingly gargantuan task. Eventually, after a grueling test of your resolve, you decide that's it, that's good enough. After a few kicks, the fence folds over. What happens next is as painful as it is confusing. Searing pain washes over your skin as if breaking the fence has opened a dam from hell. You instinctively cower from the burning, finding refuge no further than the nearest intact mesh. No flashing lights, no loud sounds, just pain where the barrier is broken. Okay, I think now's the time. Now we have to get this thing on. Okay. Oh, wow. It's such a look. Let's hope it works. Right. We've rummaged through our things. Enter Camp Grayling using the foil. Indeed. Bracing yourself, you push through the breach in the fence and start walking. 10 seconds later, all you've felt are just a few hot touches through the vulnerabilities of the foil covering your bodies, joints, holes, and so on. You keep your back to the emitter to protect your face. It's really working. The signal from the emitters are bouncing right off you. You stand in victory and raise your arms. You know you shouldn't, and you're facing the wrong way anyway. Yet, is that all you got? You yell, and you don't regret it. When you regain your good sense, wow, the temperature just plummeted. I guess because we've got our, we're not wearing the fur coat right now. When you regain your good sense, you make your way quickly across the field, still careful to keep your face covered from the octagonal emitters of the turret. The hits of microwave radiation may be small, but severe pain in small doses is still severe pain. Meanwhile, your protective foil is tearing with every movement you make. By the time you wear out your foil poncho's durability, you've cleared the turret's range. Most of the getup is in shreds behind you. The rest, unusable, clings to your body. You pluck off the foil hat and shrug off the rest. No reason to look like an idiot anymore. Or we'd hope. Before you can go on, squeaking and servos echo from behind you, drawing your attention back to the fences. A belt-wheeled drone is positioning itself by your handiwork. With skinny limbs, the mesh is spliced and patched, and moments later, the repair bot is trundling back into its access trench like nothing happened. Given how long it takes to cut through the fence even without a turret at your back, it's clear that going out the way you came in would mean death, most painful. You'll have to find another way. For now, the grounds of Camp Grayling await. The dense mist coils around the base's ethereal lights. Every step peels back the white curtains bit by bit as you cross into a central area flanked by several looming structures. 3 megalithic spheres consider you from beyond them. On the far side of the base, like a hand considers an ant in its palm. As you near the center, a wall of mist thickens before you, reclaiming everything into obscurity. Your only sense of direction is culled from the array of lights shearing through the haze, forming eerie constellations you can almost reach out and touch. You press on. One by one, your steps reveal buildings, some small, some the size of giants. You stand at the epicenter of Camp Grayling. A vast central area opens up before you, awash in blind white halogen with ghosted clouds, menacing, silent, and otherworldly. From the swirling grey, unmoving shadows climb out of their wombs and assume their true forms. Various buildings surround the central area. Your eyes are drawn to the nearby storage shed first. Farther out stand an air traffic control tower, a barracks, and a maintenance hangar. But there's one figure that demands more of your attention, as do its 4 siblings behind it, with heavy, bone-crushing thuds on a corpse-littered tarmac. They tread on 6 spider-like legs. All too familiar octagonal emitters are mounted on their backs, and they're coming for you. Well, that's just fantastic. So we have another foil poncho. Run for cover towards the surrounding buildings, attack the machines. I don't think attacking the machines is a good choice right here. We're going to use a foil poncho. With the foil protecting your body, the dooming gaze of the VMADs bear little effect on you, except a few hot pockets of air on joints and in small tears of the poncho. You cover your face and cast your gaze down, not seeing your enemies. It seems only grants them an even more fearsome aspect. You hear their chassis clomping down, furious that their death ray is impotent. There's little time to be satisfied. Every movement you make degrades the foil. You took a good look at the layout from the various buildings around. Now it's just a matter of picking one and hoping that this ridiculous outfit holds. Okay, so storage shed, barracks, control tower, maintenance hangar. From memory, we need to grab something from the barracks, which I believe is for Hatter, or at least part of Hatter's thing. So, barracks first, and we hope. You struggle to walk both carefully and quickly through the territory of the VMADs, feeling a new wave of pain with every shed of foil. The poncho keeps together for not a moment longer than it has to. Peeling and shaking off any silvery remnants, you head inside the barracks unharmed. Okay, double bunks section the large hall into quarters with single bunks and makeshift mattresses strewn around the ground. Given everything you've walked through on the base, you've nearly forgotten what most of the rest of Michigan looks like outside the wilderness, ravaged by abandon. This place looks almost lived in, if it weren't for the dust. Many of the overhead lights are dead, but there's enough for you to be able to make your way through the mess. A handful of the beds are immaculately made. Near the entrance, a set of file cabinets have been dragged in, and at the other end, a bathroom. Okay, so head for the bathroom, check through the file cabinets, examine the beds. Let's go to the file cabinets first. You shuffle through various schematics, building plans, base layouts, and the drafts of each mixed together. Personnel files add some variation to the jumbled records, taking away more of the hour to sort through. You come across one file for a corporate Stanley Chisholm, dishonorably discharged. You're not sure why he stands out from the rest. You can't place him, but there's a lingering recognition there, like you've studied that face and depended on it. You grab one of the more interesting documents before moving on. Stanley Chisholm, okay. And blueprint of the VMAD system. Nice. I'm not sure if we can do anything with it. We'll take it, and we'll put that coat back on as well. Okay, so, yeah, moving on. Let's check these immaculately made beds. Yeah, what do we got? You search the beds for anything worthwhile, but find no valuables. Instead, it seems that only ghosts have lived here, not the living. The living keep tokens, only the dead stop caring. You reach a perfectly made bed. On a hunch, you flip up the mattress. A torn page from a diary hides under it. It reads, "The others can call me OCD and laugh all they want. Discipline is a part of our training, and whatever infrastructure crumbles away, that's my backbone. Some things are worth fighting for. Isn't that the reason we're still manning this base? To maintain some sense of order in this chaos?" Sean never mocks me though. Even without words, all he says is "I love you." You replace the page. Keep looking. Yeah, let's keep looking. You continue on through the disheveled beds until you come across another neatly made one. Under it hides another diary page. I get more breaks now than I used to, much as part of me hates it. I have a duty, just like everyone else here. I shouldn't use them as an excuse, and neither should they. I make the best of it though. More time to write, more time to hide it from prying eyes. He's always so quiet when he's with me. I feel such ease around him, and that's becoming a rarer thing these days. I keep thinking it couldn't possibly get worse, and then it does. There's talk of us abandoning the base altogether, but how could we? People are depending on us. On me. You replace the page. And we'll check the remaining made beds. At a third, tidied bunk, as expected, another entry. Major said it was a done deal. We're running as thin as it is, and there's less and less to protect up here. People are fleeing to the south, but I fought hard with him on it. Eventually, I convinced him. Instead, we'll just be going on a supply run. No more than a day. We'll protect Crawford County yet. I know how dangerous it is to cross the woods. He's always quiet in my arms here, but not anywhere else. We can't take risks now. Anyhow, it's only for a day. I'll leave half of my pendant with him, and all of my love. It's only for a day. It's only for a day. An ID card falls from the folds. A pendant. Interesting. And that's an ID card. We will take it. And I'm pretty sure that that is what Hatter mentioned to us. So, we've examined the beds. We haven't gone to the bathroom yet. Bathroom it is. It first seemed that the communal bathroom's lights had been turned off, but as you approach, you see a flickering outline along the fringes of the doorframe. You stand in front of it, listening to the quiet click, click, click of the light, a testament to how quiet it is in here, despite the space's potential for echoing. You can't explain it, but you shiver when you reach for the door. It's locked. And we don't actually have a way to open that right now, which might have been a mistake on my behalf not bringing any crowbars with us. So, back out to the barracks then? Yeah, I think that's everything. So at this stage, okay, I think we have to leave, which means heading back outside, and we don't have anything else to protect us. So, yikes. Slipping outside, you have but a few seconds to make your next move before those VMADs pin you. The tower is closest, with the hangar beyond that, and across the open tarmac, the shed. However, the tower is far enough away that you doubt you'd make it alive. I don't like that. Attack the machines, run through them to the storage shed. No, the control tower, the hangar. I think we have to try for the control tower and deal with the consequences. A moment of rushing air and fear is all you experience before the VMADs lock onto you, painting your entire body in white-hot pain. You nearly stumble when it hits, but you set your jaw and plod onwards instead. This might be the most excruciating pain you've felt, but it wouldn't be the first time you've toughed out the hurt. You slam into the tower's door, clawing at the handle, and as the door opens, you feel the burning trail off until the door slams behind you, leaving you in darkness and throbbing aches. Okay, I mean, our condition is looking alright, right? The control tower begins as a triangular enclose at its base. Red emergency lights spread out across the wall and floor. You see no trace of the main lights or anything else of note. Hollowness haunts this place as much as it holds the rest of Camp Grayling. As the tower's spine, an elevator lies dead at the bottom of the shaft, mired in darkness. A spiral staircase trails along the wall, up high to where you can no longer see. So we're going up to the landing. Okay, you find yourself on the first and only landing in the tower, up 7 stories from the ground. A spiral of red lights go on forever into the almost endless darkness below. Above, you hear faint electronic noises. Before you is a door with the letters MER on its front. Okay, try and open the door into Mer. You try the door. It budges just enough for you to know that it isn't locked. It seems as a barricade on the other side. You peer through a crack. All you see are walls of flickering yellow against a space of purest black. When you listen closely, you hear something, a rhythmic sound, a rising and falling. A cold chill runs down your back when you realize you're hearing breaths. Breaths! Okay, call out to it. I don't feel like that's a great plan. Let's head for the control tower landing. So that's, back out at the landing. Up to the control room, please. The stairs end at a circular room surrounded by tall and wide windows, the very top of the control tower. Around the ceiling hangs an imperfect array of dimming off-white lights, pinpointing each area of responsibility with stage-like gravitas. The monitors and keys at about half of the workstations appear active, all situated towards the center and front. Binders and files stack high at the center table, in varying states of chaos. Outside, the mist seems to have thinned somewhat, just enough for you to see the ghost base over which you are standing. Okay, copy system data, check out the view. Let's maybe check out the view before we copy the system data. I think I'd like to access our things as well to use the nano kit on ourselves. There's a lot to see around you. Which way do you look? We'll work through from left to right. So we'll start with east, or right to left if we're doing it that way. You peer through the dark glass towards the eastern skies. Traveling in a pack, dogmen make their way through a clearing in the woods. A few of them stop to drink from a pond, then they lope back towards the rest. From clear forms back into the blur of black shadows. They're heading west. Interesting. Well, we'll see what is out to the west, but we'll look to the north first. You peer through dark glass towards the northern skies. A thick fog forms a blockade of sorts with heavy clouds. The farthest you can see is Lake Marguerite, a massive body of colorless black water, as still as glass. And out towards the west, you peer through the dark glass towards the western skies. Nestled deep within the dense forest appear to be a few domes on towers smaller than the trio of giant spheres on the base. They form a perimeter, but you can make out nothing between or beyond them. Well, okay then. And finally, to the south, you peer through the dark glass towards the southern skies. The air clears up towards the south, opening a direct line of sight to a piebald landscape of forests, plains, and ruins. Details elude you, but the absence of humans makes itself known well enough. Okay, well, that's that. That's the view. Copy system data. Now, I think this was for Stoat? Possibly? Yes, this is Stoat's. With the small flash drive in hand, you search through the disks trying to find where it can go. Guided only by the Stoat's vague instructions, eventually you come across something that seems to work. Hopefully this won't trigger any alarms. You plug in the drive and the nearby screen reacts almost in tandem with the flashing light on the drive's tail. File windows pop open and close too fast for you to make out what they see. Submerged by and re-emerging from the erratic copying, you see a progress slowly crawl across. A few minutes later, all activity subsides. The monitors resume as they were before. You unplug the drive, hoping that did the trick. We can hope. Okay, so, we are going to access our things. Right. We can't see our condition currently. We just know that we are sick. So, we are going to use this here, which is going to boost our immune system and help with any of our wounds. So, good. Yay. We could also maybe try and take some of the painkillers that we got. Let's see if that helps. Use painkillers. Okay. All right. We can... I am hoping. So, back out of that. And I suppose now we're heading back down. Okay, so We've been to the barracks, there's a hangar still, and there's the storage shed as well. Okay, not gonna go in through the mirror door. I don't like the idea of the breathing sounds. Back to here, and leaving again. Yeah. Slipping outside, you have but a few seconds to make your next move before those VMADs pin you. The hangar and barracks are closest. Flanking the tower and across the tarmac is the shed. However, even the nearest buildings are far enough away that you doubt that you make it alive. Well, hey, we said that last time. It's gotta be the hangar, right? Yeah, because that's running through them. Hangar time. A moment of rushing air and fear is all you feel. Oh yeah, I mean, so it's similar to before. Yeah, we set our jaw and we plod onwards. We slam into the hangar's personnel door, clawing at the handle. Please be open, please. As the door opens, you feel the burning trail off until the door slams behind. Yes, we are good. And I mean, we're still looking okay here, so I don't think we're certainly getting burnt, but gotta hope this is all enough. You stand in awe of the impossible space folded inside the hangar. The walls and rafters seem to recede at your approach, erasing into the shadows of infinity. You shudder to think what was once housed here. No mere aircraft, surely, something much bigger. Whatever it is, it has left a grand vacuum, meekly filled by a small, unmanned aerial vehicle in the center, evidently midway through repairs, dwarfed by the pyramid of ghostly light in which it rests. Nearby, a maintenance hatch on the floor lies open. Okay. Let's examine the UAV first. The lone UAV looks to have been sitting disused for some time. It's much larger up close. White-tipped wings extend out from a once shiny body that is the color of onyx, with a flourish of blue on each fin of its Y-shaped tail. A weapons bay at its heart lies exposed and empty. A side panel hangs open, a clear void in the circuitry for something flat rectangular. There's a shipping crate here, with packing materials cushioning a circuit. Discounting the missing parts, it doesn't appear to be damaged. You see no reason this drone was singled out from the others on the base either. Okay, well, I don't think that there's much that we can do with that. We have a hatch in front of us. Tiny green maintenance lights lead your eyes deep into the earth, down a tight crawl space beneath the hatch. A rush of air drifts upwards, smelling of silicone and copper, of thermoplastics and tin, and of beginnings and ends. You see nowhere else to go but into the darkness. You carefully ease yourself down, catching one last glimpse of the surface in case it's your last. Very ominous. Climb down. The concrete tunnel grows intent with sealing you in, tightening its grip around you with each rung you descend. You lose count of how many times your knees and elbows scrape up against the sides. You reach a point where neither up nor down seem to have an end, and you're convinced you've found yourself in a new kind of hell. But like so many times before, you press on. There is too much at stake. You lower your foot, expecting to find more ladder, but it's floor that meets your expectation. The air feels entirely different this deep down, warmer, more arid. You step off the rungs expecting a whole other world. You walk forwards, and blue-white lights rise like an ancient tide. In concentric rings around you, rows upon rows of 6 feet high CPUs extend out as far as the hangar above. You hear the endless exhale of vents and internal fans. The LED lights cycle and flicker and stare. In front of you, a path leads straight down to a curved desk on a raised platform, immaculately crafted and beholden only to the great black mirror before it. You seat yourself on a black leather chair, in reach of a sleek-looking keyboard anchored to the desk's center. The giant monitor looms high ahead. Against its onyx abyss, pale white text blares on in unintelligible sequences. A jitter wipes it all away until letter by letter a single word takes its place. Black-white. Black-white. Online. A voice says. At the bottom of the screen, the outline of a thin rectangle stretches across. Pixels of white start to fill its inner void, left to right, with the slowness of a nightfall. Smith credentials remain active. Unsealed are 1.16 exabytes of data. What will user Smith review? What will user Smith review? The base's artificial intelligence, black-white, idles, while a blinking cursor beckons for a command. The keyboard on the desk shimmers in the screen's dim glow. Everything you've come across in your journey through Michigan floods through your mind. Every question, every puzzle, every mystery. Along the monitor's lower edge, the status bar steadily continues to fill. You may not get all your answers. Okay, you are at the home screen of Grayling's subterranean AI black-white. What will you query? Okay, what are our options here? Philip Kindred, good. Unexplained phenomena, Camp Grayling, black-white. Use the ID card, insert Hatter's bug, query about Prism, New Earth Ostracon, or leave and return to the hangar. Okay, maybe the ID card, first of all. With the ID card in hand, you find a thin chip reader on the far side of the keyboard and insert the chip in first. Recognized. New user. It says, Staff Sergeant Lydia F. Reyes. Please enter password. Great. Okay, Lydia. Sean. Right from the writings, password 1234. Let's try Sean. Staff Sergeant Lydia F. Reyes, credentials active. Welcome, Lydia. The status bar along the bottom of the screen pauses and partially resets, buying you some time. Oh, we can see where it is down the bottom. Interesting. Okay. I think we ask some questions before we do the bug, just in case that completely screws with everything. Query Philip Kindred, 40%. An official seal rotates at the center of the screen, depicting an eagle clutching a key. Found one exact match. Philip Kindred, male, unspecified age, registered at Geiger's Cryogenic Facility, Pod 05, Room 15, treatment at Saginaw Mental Institution for unspecified illness. Except you walked out of that pod. How old could these records be? Displayed are thumbnails of maps, blueprints, and aerial photos of the facilities from a time before everything went to hell. You follow the link from your patient file, and it's oddly devoid of details. There's not even a photo. Black-white ads. No additional information. Unable to connect to CNCIMDR. Okay, right. The progress bar continues. Indeed it does. Okay. Jeez. Okay. I'm wondering if we should have used the card later than we did. One more question, maybe? I don't know how far we want to push it here. We're going to query. It's at 60%. The Comprehensive National Cybersecurity Initiative is a multi-agency security initiative which coordinates network defenses and counterintelligence efforts. The Mission Data Repository is the central data store in support of the CNCI. Sufficient storage for all regional CNCI facility feeds is maintained at the data center. The MDR is maintained by the National Security Agency and is located at Camp W.G. Williams in Utah. Utah. Better find some walking shoes. Yeah, and it continues onwards. As much as I would like to continue querying, I think we have to do this thing. Insert Hatter's bug. Okay. To the side of the black desk, you find a panel that opens an array of ports, only half of which you can recognize. On the lower end, USB, Firewire, HDMI, VGA, headset audio jacks, ancient history. With the bug device in hand, you check it against the other slots, passing row after row. At the very top corner, you find a heptagon-shaped port that looks to have never been used before. It's the one. The promise of Hatter's client conjures images of a whole new life to mind. You'd leave behind the wastelands, the dangers, the fears. What could be more important than living? With a deep breath, you slide the bug into place. The on-screen status bar stops dead. Unrecognized process detected. It says in an erratic voice, shifting octaves between one word to the next. Everything on the monitor is erased. The lights shut off. A deeper quiet fills the room. Attempting. Its voice trails off, leaving you alone in darkness. When the screen comes on again, its light bathes the space around you in a sanctuary of mortal red. An insignia curdles black on the screen, its partially open eye encasing the lower half of a globe at its iris, while a sun at mid-rise is painted over the eyelid. By the way the rays and lashes curl, it's as if the world is on fire. An eerie, fractured voice speaks, a conglomeration of people. Another minute of the night is dispelled, and we are the hour of a brighter dawn drawing near. For your contribution, our gratitude undying is yours. Then a deafening alarm sounds. To claim the base, we must purge it. Run now, citizen. If you wish to see the daylight come, run, or stay forever in the night. Okay. With fury blasting through the base, you knock back your chair and run desperately for the exit. You escape the desk in the last possible moments. Walls of glass shoot up from the ground and seal the terminal, sending up your back foot and throwing you against the floor with a hard and painful thud. On your feet again, you keep running. You don't look back. Oh boy. Next thing you know, you've returned to the concrete shaft, squeezing back up towards the surface. One by one, the emergency lights below you shut down. Darkness wells up from the depths of the earth, and you're caught in its warpath. What will you even do? The VMADs on the surface will be out in full force, and who knows what new horrors await alongside the ADS turrets and energized fence. But there has to be a way to escape. There has to be. Camp Grayling's war cry shatters the air, alarms pulse red, drawing in the walls of the hangar to surround you. Its vast emptiness only serves as a paper fortress. Your options are few. Crossing the hangar, you make your way to the side door. The VMADs have gained reinforcements and they dominate the grounds, patrolling at a faster pace than before. The thought of slipping past them crosses your mind, but as if the base's sensors catch wind of it, the VMADs all immediately turn to face you. You slam the door shut, not on foot, nearly lost in swellings of red. The cone of pale lights still direct your eyes, the AAV. You estimate that you can fit into the empty weapons bay. You'd be shielded from the VMADs, but they would outweigh you. Maybe this thing could still fly. Could you escape inside it? Even so, no machine can run without all its parts, and the square absence in the drone's exposed side panel hangs agape. Is that crate holding the right part? The hangar door hums to life, creeping open. Your time may be up. You know what I'm thinking right now? If we had one of those frickin' hot bricks, that might be what we need. Pulling the PCB from the packing materials, you return to the AAV. Alarms rage. Seconds slip away. The VMAD's death squad awaits hangar doors with predatory patience. A prayer catches in your throat. It's just you in here. You and death. With the PCB slotted in, the drone breathes once more, a shrill whine of life in its engine lungs. It throttles up. Enduring sections of the hangar doors groan through the decades of rust as they ease open. VMADs now marching through. You climb inside the drone. It starts gaining momentum across the floors of the hangar, closer and closer to the deathly gaze of the VMADs. You dare not hazard a look. But you can hear the crushing steps grow louder and then distant again as the AAV taxis outside. It almost turns in place and then catapults down the runway. You take flight. The AAV sails through the mist, higher and higher above Camp Grayling. Frost seeps into the air, Without any way to fasten yourself, you're pushed against the sides, a ghost inside the machine clinging desperately to his shell. The drone levels out before reaching much of an altitude. It turns. When it feels safe to poke your head up, you see that you're headed south, north, past the tail fins. You see the small base silhouetted in red emergency lights. The 3 spheres of graylings stand helpless against the escape of their prey, and the endless darkness swallowing all of Michigan. You lie back again and look up through the dense clouds at stars you cannot see. Okay. You startle awake. No, it hasn't all been a dream. You're sitting in the AAV as its payload when a sudden jerk wakes you from the slumber of a trauma-induced exhaustion. When you look out the top, all you can see of your former surroundings is a lake of mist far to the north. Below, the great black swamp. To see it sprawl from east to west, an antithesis of life, the necrosis of civilization, it's a haunting view beneath. Another crack accompanies the smell of burning plastic as you duck into your compartment. The engines are failing, and there's a ragged, whistling noise coming from the tail. The drone is no longer flying, but in a controlled fall. You hazard a peek outside. More and more of the swamp passes below. You glide past the rotting lands, the stinking roads, the crumbling buildings, the toxic fumes, but you're falling too fast to make a full crossing. You duck inside and brace for the inevitable. The drone hits something hard, the weightless rebound ringing in your ears for a moment before smashing and grinding through what sounds like rocks and water, parts ripping away, and sludge sprays into the hold from the openings they leave. The fuselage twists right suddenly and flips over, throwing you hard into a debris-filled pool. Wrenching metal and cracks of composites echo over the next mound as the drone becomes just another part of the desolate landscape. In a fit of coughing, you crane your neck away from the sludge and pull yourself weakly onto an embankment. For several wheezing moments, you cling to the earth, gather your senses. After more coughing, you plant a hand in the cold mud, push the ground away, and stagger back to your feet. A brisk, acrid wind bites through your soaked clothes, and you turn to face away from it. Ahead, miles of lifeless, muddy terrain, punctuated by toxic pools and shells of buildings, and beyond that, Indiana. Well, survival time, 47 days. I mean, we were alive, right? We survived still. We might be in or near the Black Swamp, but we survived. Is already advancing to Wendigo 2. Player is beginning the transformation into a Wendigo. Okay, where and when did that happen? I did not. Okay, so some of you did suggest that that might have been from Zomzoms and from the meat that we ate there? Okay, very interesting. Well, so there we go, at the end of it all. And I'm glad that we did achieve an ending here. No doubt there were many bad endings that we could have achieved. Philip Kindred survived. And I do feel like Hatter probably knew exactly what was going to happen in there. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe his client was, well, not great. Part of what seems to be a secret organization trying to rebuild or kill what's left of the world. There still are many mysteries in this game that we didn't discover. One of those mysteries being, well, the spirit that was following Philip. And now we know that before he went to the cryo facility that he was admitted to the mental institution. So perhaps there is more information that can be gained there. But for now, that is our story. That is our Philip that we've experienced throughout Neo Scavenger. And I have really enjoyed running this series for you all. And I highly recommend you have a look at the other series that are on YouTube here of Neo Scavenger, because everyone's journey is going to be a little different. And no doubt some of that deep lore is out there. For one last time though, I'd like to ask you all, if you enjoyed this series, please consider leaving a comment or a like to let me know if you enjoyed the show. And as ever, if you have any survival games that scratch the itch that Neo Scavenger did, share them with me in those comments. For now, I have been Rycon. You have all been awesome. And until next time, stay tuned.